What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing the Josh Leivo for Michael Carcone trade. The Leafs and Canucks make a deal. Now Carcone, apparently that's how you say his name. I watched some of his highlights, made sure I did a little bit of homework. A lot of people are wondering, oh my god, like, we traded Josh Leivo. First of all, I like Leivo, but let's take a bit of a breather here. The Leafs had to make a move, guys, and Josh Leivo unfortunately was the odd man out. Now I'm going to get to that in, another part of this video, but let me first say, a lot of people are saying, oh, see, this is what happens when the Leafs get back Nylander, we have to start moving pieces. Guys, the Leafs roster is going to change a lot next year, and a lot of people don't realize that. It's going to change quite a bit. A lot of guys are going to have to fill out that bottom six role that we aren't even talking about right now, so I'll get to that later in the video. But first, Michael Carcone from the Vancouver Canucks organization. Now he's playing with Utica, the Utica Comets before. He's 22 years old. He's from Ajax. Shout out to Ajax, the boys trip that was last summer. That was pretty cool in Ajax. He's got a really low cap hit, $675,000. He's just a prospect. He'll be going down to the Marlies. So far with Utica this year, he has 17 points in 20 games. So that's something that you can look forward to. It looks like those numbers are going to be pretty good even with the Marlies. Again, not a huge deal here. He's another forward, but again, I will get to that later on. But this just makes sense. And I mean, I guess I can't say later on. I'll get to it now. The Leafs next season are going to have to fill out a lot of their bottom six roles with a lot of guys, like I said, that we aren't really talking about now. You're going to see guys, a lot of them probably come from the Marlies. Pieces are going to be moved out because the Leafs need to make more room, money-wise for other players on the team. People are saying, Kapanen, Matthews, Marner. What happens if the Leafs want to try to get Gardner back on this team? A lot of, movement is going to have to happen from, now until then. And this is, arguably a piece that could have factored into next season as well. There might have not even been a spot for Josh Leivo if he had a decent year this year and demanded a little bit more money. That's where the point is with the Leafs. Yeah, they're going to have money to get their guys, and there's a video coming up that I'm doing. I've been promising it forever. But with this Nylander deal, it just makes more sense to make it now with my buddy downtown Stephen Brown, which will be coming out soon. But my point is that the Leafs need to save every dollar that they can. If Carcone looks good with the Marlies for the rest of the season, and they look at him in training camp next year and value that he might be able to just fill out, a bottom role on the fourth line and put up a couple points here and there, but be sound defensively, they're going to go with that because his cap hit will be dirt cheap. And that's the thing. The Leafs need more guys that are going to be absolutely dirt cheap that can still give you a little bit of what you need and be sound defensively. That's pretty much all you want from your guys on the fourth line. And even some guys on your third line, unfortunately, guys like Connor Brown could be a guy that gets moved out. Now, a lot of people, this year want him to go. Listen, I like Connor Brown. I'm a huge fan of him. One of my favorite players, even though, sometimes he makes some, not mistakes, but he doesn't really show how valuable he could really be. Now, I'm not talking he's like some front-of-the-line talent, but, he's a talent, at least for a third line or fourth line in the NHL. He's a good penalty killer. He's, quick. And, again, I'm not trying to focus on one player, but you get what I'm trying to say here. There's going to be pieces moved in and out, and when you can get a guy like Carcone or whoever's going to come up from the Marlies, if anything, this would just give them depth next year as well. If another guy goes up, at least Carcone could at least fill in one of those roles. So, getting over to Leivo now. So, I am a huge fan of Josh Leivo. I've met him a couple times. He's a nice guy. I'm very happy that he'll get a chance in Vancouver. Could have a chance to be in that top six if they give him a look. He's, he's not the quickest guy. I actually think he's a little bit, he's not slow, but he's definitely not the type of player that maybe Babcock wanted to roll with. He does like his quicker talent. Obviously that's why he likes guys like Hyman and Brown and, even Janssen maybe. Just guys that can move really quick. But I do like Leivo. He's 25, so I guess the Leafs got a tad younger, even though Leivo's not really old. In 27 games played, he has 6 points, but Leivo's been with this Leafs organization for a while now. We've seen the ups and downs, not making the lineup, a possible trade request that he had last season, if that was even true. But Josh Leivo, thank you very much. You've just been a class act. Like I said, I met him a couple times. Super nice guy. But you can even tell with the media and everything like that, and on the road trips with fans. And he's just a really nice guy. He's got a wicked shot. He's got a really, really wicked shot. and he can produce, you know, sometimes in bunches. He did that like a couple years ago when all the young guys came up. He was obviously still there with the team because he's been in and out of the lineup for years. But, you know, he had a couple nights where he looked like he was really good. So hopefully he can pick that up somewhere else. But a lot of people, again, are making the argument of, okay, when Nylander came back, they're like, why is Levo the guy that's being rumored to go and now being traded? You know, names like Freddie Goat have been brought up, Freddie Gauthier. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people aren't going to like. Babcock likes his guys, okay? We all know that. But maybe the Leafs see Gauthier as a more valuable piece, and again, people aren't going to like that. But just because he's done okay with the center position, he's actually done pretty good. Shout out to Ian. Ian Graff now, according to Jeff O'Neill. But Freddie Gautier's actually looked pretty decent, and maybe they want that backup fourth-line centerman. I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to figure out reasons. Like, this isn't such a big deal, but since I am a Leaf fan and have watched for years, it kind of makes me want to talk more about it because I see all the tweets about it on my timeline, like, why is Levo the one to go? But they might value Freddie Gauthier as a guy that at least can step in and do a good job and fill that centerman position, even though they have guys like Lindholm and maybe even Ennis, who are guys that can just swap in and out of that position. But another guy, Ennis, that people are bringing up, I don't see why they would get rid of him. Ennis has actually done a pretty decent job with the Leafs this year. I actually think he's been a valuable piece. And I'm not saying, again, when I say valuable, people overreact all the time in the comments or on Twitter. When I say valuable, I'm not saying he's some top-end talent. I get this comment all the time. Why are you calling guys valuable? Because they are, okay? For what they do. Ennis does his job. And Ennis has looked real good. He's quick, and you know what? He can put up some points here and there. Another guy, Marincin. I'm not going to get too much into this one. He's not a guy I like. Babcock really likes him. He's got an active stick. I guess he wants him to you know, be a penalty killer when he needs to insert him into the lineup. And Justin Hall. Again, that's a guy Dubas likes. Maybe they both were like, okay, we like these two guys. You know, defensively, we're not sure where they're at. Marincin, I don't really like him, but maybe they're like, okay, well, we don't have a ton of guys to bring up right now. We don't want to bring up Borgman or Rosen, whatever. Sandin, obviously, and Liljegren are not ready for a while. So maybe they just want to hold on to as many defensemen as possible, and they didn't want to run the risk of putting Freddie Gauthier or Marincin or Hall on waivers. So that's just the only thing I can think of. But again, Josh Levo, thank you very much for everything in Toronto. Carconi, looking forward to seeing you live probably with the Marlies. And again, guys, just don't react to this stuff. I'm sure it just means that the Leafs valued other pieces more, and maybe they see something in Carconi. Obviously, you make this trade and you hope that you're getting something back of the same value or more. It doesn't always work out that way, but we'll have to see what happens. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next video stream. Make sure to click that notification bell. Peace.